Right, okay, so we're here with Newcastle fans.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, just your names?
Andy.
And Ed.
Right, it's a loss, but it's a loss to City. What can Newcastle take away from that?
They need a bench. Straight and simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we played absolutely fantastic for the first 60 minutes. I think we showed some class. I mean, the two of the best goals we scored all season, I think.
Clinical.
Yeah. So, just a little bit of strength and depth there. Maybe we missed at the end, but I'm really proud of the team.
Yeah. Was that the best? Forget about the result. Was that the best quality 90 minutes you've seen at St James's Park for a while?
The best game I've seen in a long time.
I think it is for me as well. I think Gordon had a fantastic game, but he done himself in, didn't he? You got to take him off in the end.
Absolutely.
Was he your man of the match? Because there's a few that it could have been. Bruno had a fantastic game. Dubravka had a good game. Gordon, you mentioned.
I'd probably say Gordon, just because he put his absolute heart and soul into it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the injuries as well. They're still racking up with Newcastle. We're seeing last week Joe Allenton's on the injury list now for a few weeks. Anderson's got a knock back. He's pushed back. Does it worry you? Because I know you mentioned about the bench as well. We're underbelly because of injuries is still being affected. It's the same story all season, it seems.
I just hope that the transfer team, the people doing the recruiting, have got some names to come in to help out, because you can't win anything with young lads, as has been said a long time before,
Yeah, I think if we'd had Joe Linton fit and the likes of Anderson, and I think we could have brought on some quality and put us, just giving us the extra bit of 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes. But yeah, we were missing it today. But I enjoyed the game. I'm not gonna lie, it was a brilliant game.
Is it just the Kevin De Bruyne effect? Because he got a goal and assist, and only 20 minutes he was on the pitch or something like that. Is that just the quality of the star players that they've got?
As soon as I saw him warming up, I said, well, that's trouble.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even look that match fit, but he was still amazing. So yeah, I think, and look, if you think of their two goal scorers, the last were both off bench. And I think that says it all, really. We've got to work on that, but
Yeah. When Nick Pope went injured, a lot of fans thought this was going to be our number one target in January. He's had a run of games now. How would you analyse his run of games?
I think he had a really good game, apart from the goals. But he made some massive saves.
He must have saved 6 or 7 at least. So yeah, I think he did really well. He looks like he's back in good form. So I don't think we're missing anybody there now. I think it's other positions I think we're struggling.
When the January transfer window shuts, would you risk it and just trust Dubravka, or would you go in for a goalkeeper? Bear in mind it's Karius underneath.
Who's out there? That's the thing. You hear a lot of names backwards and forwards, but
I'd trust him. I think he's shown he can hold the back. So no, I think we need people out in other positions, back up in other positions. But we need some people back from injury. That's
desperately.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you think we've still got Harvey Barnes and a few others that we've not really even seen kick on.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of Barnes and Anderson and some quality players there that just haven't been around for 2-3 months. So yeah, I think it's going to be tough.
Speaking of the January transfer window as well, there's been a couple of reports this week that the Newcastle owners and stuff, obviously they've put out their financial record, £70 million loss and stuff like that. They said that they might need to sell a star player. Do you think that's likely, or do you think that's just talk, or what do you think? Does it worry you as well?
It worries me from the rumours in the newspapers, but they're always making up stories in the newspapers. But I think
it's kind of, they have to manage expectations, so they've got to say it might happen now. I think but who knows? They're going to have to probably bring some cash into the club somehow.
Well, we've seen the star players today. You've got Isaac, who fantastic finisher. Bruno's had a great match. You look round at the sellable assets that they could be talking about. There's not really too many that you'd be happy to kind of see.
Oscar, Bob. Yeah. No, I think. We just hope it's not Bruno, eh? That's all I say.
Who is your number one target in January? So what position?
I think midfield. I think the guy from Man City there, Phillips would be a good buy.
Yeah. We need a Kevin De Bruyne, really. That's what
He's
we need.
available, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need. Someone very similar. I think we've got. I mean, look, if Tonali wasn't out, it might be a different conversation. But yeah, I think I still think we could do with another striker, because I think, Gordon and Isaac today were fantastic, but it's taken a while for them to sort of perform like that on the day. So yeah,
if Newcastle didn't sign anyone in January, would you be too bothered or not?
I think I'd be a bit worried.
I can't see it happening. To be fair, I don't know if they're going to have the cash. So look, we'll on today's performance, we'll still hold our own. You know, we're playing the best team in the world today. You know, that's what we've got to bear in mind.
And then where do you think we're finishing now? Premier League wise?
Top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10.
They've got to be in the top 10, otherwise it's all been a waste of effort, hasn't it?
Top 10. Guaranteed top 10 stuff.
Right, okay, so we're here with Newcastle fan.
Yeah. I've come up for my whole family are from Newcastle. I'm actually moving to Australia next week, so this is the last time that I'll come to St James's Park for, well, at least a year.
Yeah. What kind of send-off was that then?
Mate, just gutted, heartbroken, just absolutely devastated. I thought we were unbelievable first half. Even when we conceded, I thought we were playing well.
Yeah.
And then we just did not want half-time to come. We were pressing them, we were winning the ball back. And then half-time whistle went, and then it was inevitable. A different side come out second half. We let them have the ball. We done so well defending, and then Kevin De Bruyne come on. And as soon as De Bruyne come on, everyone shit themselves. They you know, stepping back, dropping off, and then he scored. And even for that goal, like we done so well defending. Like, I'm so proud of everyone. Like we played really well.
Is it the De Bruyne that just the star quality that he's got?
I think he come on and everyone was starstruck. Everyone was like, oh, it's Kevin De Bruyne, and we just dropped back a yard. Well, at the end of the first half, we were brilliant. We were pressing, whether it was Miley, Longstaff, Bruno. We got on them every time the ball went into midfield. We'd win the ball back. We were countering them. We were unbelievable. I felt like we should have gone 3-1 up before half time. We didn't, and at sort of half time, you knew that they were going to come back a different side.
What did you think when he took Bruno off as well and he put Lascelles on? Did you think that we could see the game out? Were you confident in that?
He's saying that, but Bruno's knackered. Is there any point of having... I love Bruno more than anything, but every fan knows that towards the end of the game, he's running around with nothing left.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting Lascelles on, getting in the back five, not that it made any difference because they just whipped the ball in. He tapped it in. You know, you can't fault Eddie for that. Because if Bruno was still on the pitch, would he have pressed? No, he wouldn't. Everyone would have sat back and he'd have whipped the ball in. So.
Just from the opposition perspective as well, now that Kevin De Bruyne's back, Haaland's obviously due back next week or so, are they favourites for you to win the league?
Oh, absolutely. Even when they were 8 points behind or whatever the other day, absolutely. Arsenal haven't got it. Liverpool certainly haven't. I absolutely hate Liverpool. But Liverpool own it, City win it. They've got, Haaland's been out for 2 months now? And since Haaland's been out, they've got closer to the other pack, so they'll be absolutely fine. City will win it like they do every year.
So, well, the fact that we came close, nearly won it almost, what does that kind of fill you with confidence as a fan that Newcastle, obviously we did have a little slump, are we back to...
I feel like, we're in any game we lose, even like your Luton aways or even Forest at home, we're pushing, we're trying, but even today we got nothing off the bench. Joel Linton being out is absolutely massive.
6 weeks as well.
Exactly, and we make one substitution, and it's Lewis Hall coming on, who Eddie Howe's not fancied all season.
Are you a fan of him as a fan? I mean, we've only seen 10 minutes here and 20 minutes there, sort of thing. What do you think of the Lewis Hall situation?
I think he played well away at Man United. Obviously, he scored, but generally his whole play I thought was brilliant. Yeah. I feel like he's not been given enough of a chance. However, me and you, we don't watch him training every day, do we? Yeah. Exactly. So, and I feel like from what Eddie said in press conferences and etc., if he was doing it in training, he'd be on the pitch. Of course he would. We're in an injury crisis and he's not getting game time.
That's the concern.
There's something missing. There's something that he doesn't like.
Yeah. January's window's up as well. Some of the club came out this week and they said they might need to sell players as well. Does that worry you as a Newcastle fan, or do you think everyone's in that same boat now?
It doesn't worry me. I absolutely hate financial fair play. And I'm slating it at every possible given time of day. But it's reality, isn't it? That, there's a financial fair play. You've got the top six that can do what they want. But then you've got sides like Tottenham that they built themselves up, they've done it. And I feel like fans don't need to panic. Our revenue's gone up 40% last year, 40% again this year. We'll get there, you just got to be patient. Yeah. And after watching Bruno today, I do not want to sell the bloke. But if you have to, a bit like Villa have sold Grealish, a bit like Spurs have sold Kane, that's two clubs that are up there, that aren't there, but they're up there, that have had this, and then reinvest. You might have to do it. I absolutely do not. I love the bloke more than you'll ever know. But if we have to do it, we have to do it.
And then who's your number one target in January as well?
In January, well, I wasn't that keen on Phillips immediately, but I just think we need a number 6. I think we're desperate.
Would you push Bruno up? Is that why?
Oh, absolutely. I think Bruno, as well as he's playing in number 6, even today, he does a job in there. You know, he's an attacker. He wins the ball. He got a booking today, trying to win the ball back, but he's a high presser. So you know, every goal we concede feels like it's on the counter attack, other than the couple today. But every goal prior to today, it's we press forward, then all of a sudden the other team hits it on the counter. Our midfielder up on the halfway line, and you got 3 players just against our back 4.
Yeah.
And it's all right saying we're defending terribly, which we are, but there's no midfield. There's nothing there. It's just you got 3 attackers on 4 defenders, and all it takes is one ball in behind, and we're done. Liverpool's a
Seen
perfect
that at
example.
Liverpool. I was going to say
Liverpool's a perfect example. It's every time we play Wolves at home, we got no midfield, one ball in the top. It's just Chris Wood against a whole back 4. We got absolutely nothing there. I just feel like in transition we're at an absolute shambles this season. But last year, I don't know what's the difference, because Bruno was playing in the 6 last year. But this season, it's every time we go forward, we lose the ball in a cheap area. Well, not even in a cheap area. We'll lose the ball on the edge of their box like normal teams do, and all of a sudden you got 3 players running at our back 4.
What about striker and goalkeeper? Because obviously Nick Pope got ruled out, and a lot of fans thought he's done all right, but Callum Wilson's injured again. Does that worry you?
Wilson's always injured. Isak is unbelievable. He is unbelievable. He is like, you know, I see someone say the other day on Twitter, is he better than Demba Ba? Of course he is. He's miles better than Demba Ba. Like, there was big, serious teams in Europe wanting Isak. He had an off-season at Sociedad when he was playing off the left. We signed him. He is unbelievable.
So you've seen him as a launch.
Wilson can't stay fit.
Yeah.
So we're asking this bloke to run full-back, to left-back, to right-back. You know, do all this pressing. You know, you can't do that for 60 games a season. Isak is absolutely unbelievable. He's the most talented player Newcastle have had in years.
With Wilson, when he was fit, you've seen occasionally 4-4-2, and
love
we've seen both of them
Callum
together.
Wilson's the best looking bloke about.
Shaw?
Shaw's up there as well. No, I was going to say they both get it, but I am a straight man. I am in a relationship, but they're both so handsome. But as much as he's a good looking bloke, he cannot stay fit.
Yeah.
You know, even when he plays now, I feel like he's lost a yard. You know, and I hear Eddie Howe in press conference saying, "Oh, it's hold up play." I hear Eddie Howe saying Callum Wilson's quick. He's not quick. He can just about hold the ball up. If you put the ball in behind, he cannot cover ground like Isak can.
It's a finishing though, isn't it? Lethal.
He's a great finisher, but
hasn't got the pace.
you know, Jermaine Defoe was a great finisher, but you know, would you trust him holding the ball up, laying it off? Yeah. And with inverted wingers, it's not like Wilson's getting crosses into the box. If Trippier's not whipping the ball in, we've got inverted wingers. It's not happening. So we need it. I think we need to. I'll be gutted, you know, and I'll have a little cry. But I feel like Wilson might have to go. And I've dreamt of him hitting 100 goals at Newcastle since he signed.
And then just a last quick question as well. If Newcastle didn't do any business in January, would that annoy you? Would you be gutted or?
I feel like I'd understand. I feel like a lot of people go mental saying that, you know, sign Phillips, this and that. But if Man City, for example, are asking for $5 million for Phillips for 6 months, I'm not that arsed. I feel like we can all appreciate that we're not going to get top 4 now. We all know why. Like we all know why. We've been in an injury crisis all season. So, you know, if we don't bring anyone in, I feel like we should. And I feel like, hang on, we're short. We need to bring someone in. But I feel like the owners we've got, Dan Ashworth, Eddie Howe, I feel like if we don't bring someone in, you've got to look at the bigger picture. And we might go and then lose at home to Fulham and this and that. But there's a bigger picture. If it means that we then can send a 23-year-old holding midfielder from Italy, for example, you know, in the summer, who's a much better player than Phillips, then that'd be it.
Right. Okay. So we're here with Newcastle fan.
Ashton.
Actually, how do you analyse that game?
It was very attacking football from Newcastle to start with. Towards the end, I think they've got a tendency to sit back too deep and absorb it. And time and time again, it shows that they can't actually absorb that sort of pressure like they will with PSG. In a few games that I've watched, they seem to have quite a lot of threat in the first half, but they seem to shoot the whack and run out of steam towards the end. So
Was that possibly down to Eddie Howe's tactics? Because I know he took Bruno off and he put Lascelles on, so it's a defensive kind of tactic. I was a bit frustrated because it looked like we were all right in the game when
I
he's
think
doing
they
that.
assume they can sit back and absorb the pressure, and they've come close a few times. Maybe they scrape by, but I think you're just inviting it on, and then the law of averages. Eventually, one of them will go in. So I think that you need to offer some sort of a threat going forwards, or take control of the game instead of ceding possession and just trying to sit back too deep.
The Dubravka's had a run of games now. He started off a little bit shabby and now he seems in fantastic form. Does this mean that we don't need a keeper for you in January?
Well,
Or do you disagree if you...
I think it's good to have competition for any space. So I think Pope and Dubravka, having two quality people in any position is always a benefit. So I was pleased to see when Dubravka came back from Man United. I think he's a quality goalkeeper, but we sort of need quality in all departments. People fighting for spaces, which is good to see.
Do you think the players will take a lot of confidence in that? I know it was a loss, but it was a last-minute one against Man City, who are the best side in the world, sort of thing. Would that do good for Newcastle's confidence, do you think?
Well, I hope they don't take a drop in confidence, but I think there are positives to take out of the game, and it's a learning curve when you play any of these sort of sides. So anytime you play opposition like Man City, they'll sort of show you what side you really are. You can't really get a true feeling against some opposition. Sheffield United or Sunderland the other week, that doesn't really tell you a lot about your team. This does. So I hope they don't take a drop in confidence.
And then there's been a few articles this week and interviews about the January transfer window, about Newcastle might have to sell one of their star players to fit into FFP. How does that make you feel as a fan as well? And do you think it will be a star, or do you think?
I don't think they will. No, it's kind of counterproductive to what you're doing. I mean, we've had great players in the past who've been sold on. That was kind of the model that Mike Ashley had, where anyone who you are frightened for someone to do too well for you, because they'll be gone to Chelsea or wherever the next season. So I don't think they're going to sell a star player. I think they're just sort of sounding the horns as to how tied the hands are. But I must say, I do agree with it in a way. I don't want teams who are force other teams to operate at a loss, and then you've got teams bankruptcies and insolvencies and stuff like that. So,
and the deductions as well.
So I mean, Newcastle's hands are tied, but at the end of the day, for football in general, it's probably a good thing. It's going to stop somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. Number 1 January target as well. We're doing a video on that as well.
Ooh,
People can spend.
Yeah. Oh, who would I like?
Is there a
see?
position then, if you go and think of someone? Where would need strength?
Midfielder maybe, and then everyone always wants a striker, don't they? But Callum Wilson, he's getting towards the end of his career, and he's not available. So it's like the Dubravka situation and Nick Pope. You want in competition for spaces. You want to bring a striker off. I think we do lose a lot in attack towards the end of games. If we could bring some more attacking players on at the end of the game, I don't think we'll be as toothless towards the end of matches, where we seem to be losing quite a lot of games.
Have you got a name for a striker or some attacking player you would run?
Oh, no. I know they're like Mbappe, wouldn't they? But they don't know how to spend that sort of money, either. A name for a striker. I mean, the reports about Solanke from Bournemouth, that would seem to be, 27, 28 or something like that. That would be a perfect. I doubt they would sell him at this stage of the season, but in the summertime, I would like. Solanke's a proven Premier League scorer, and he's doing wonders for a team who are in sort of the bottom half of the table. So if he's doing it for them, he could do it for us. So yeah, that's what I would like to see.